Unmute. What is up, hungry ones? Welcome to the Quarter Munchers Livecast. Today is April 9th, 2017. I am Johnny.
And I am the only man.
And welcome to the news for the last 2 weeks. First of all, let me fill you guys in. Last week was WrestleMania. And
Oh, yeah.
that shit was 7 hours long, and I'm like, oh, maybe we'll do something after WrestleMania's over. I didn't get home until fucking 1 a.m.
Yeah. Man, the Hardy Boys came back. They
I was-
continue to dominate.
I was the only person in the room that was frantically chanting, along with Suzanne, chanting delete, and everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I
Oh
wanted,
my god.
I wish
Your
I could.
friends claim to be wrestling fans, and they don't know the Delete saga. Like, TNA brought wrestling back with that. Wrestling is popular again because that shit was so crazy.
And here's the funny thing about that, like that was an entirely like the brainchild of Matt, like it was a Matt Hardy fever dream,
Yeah.
and right now he's actually fighting TNA as to who actually owns the rights to the character.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I've been following that saga for quite a bit ever since
Yeah.
their contract was up. But
Didn't Billy Corgan write a bunch of that stuff?
a little bit, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm surprised he
I
hasn't
wasn't
jumped
sure
in.
how involved he was. I know he's been writing for TNA for some reason.
He was, and then he was suing TNA for a whole bunch of other things and suing Dixie Carter. I follow the dirt sheets quite a bit, so it's. Yeah. But nevertheless, they came back, and me and Suzanne were just fairly delete, delete,
delete, delete, delete.
and they were like trying to like sneak it in and not like subtly do it. But yeah. So yeah, the Hardys came back. The Undertaker. It was a great night. Great night with friends that I had. But it was 1 a.m. and I got home and I'm like, no. So I edited last week's Zelda episode, got it out to you hungry ones. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Hope you guys like it. Let us know what you think in the comments below in each of the videos, whether you want to see that keep going or not. And also, don't forget about our Hyper Light Drifters series. It's the only one that Mitch is in the driver's seat for right now, and I know it's not doing the greatest, and I would like it to do better because I love the game. It's a gorgeous piece of art gaming.
Yeah,
gorgeous
it is a game. Even if you don't watch the videos, please go buy the game. It's really worth owning and playing.
Yeah, Battery Heart Games did such not Battery Heart, Heart Machine Games. Yeah. For some reason I always combine Battery Staple, the guys that brought us 20XX.
Oh yeah.
And Heart Machine.
Huh. Correct horse battery staple.
Correct. But I was actually playing some of the newer updates of 20XX, which, if you haven't picked that up, it's great. It's a Mega Man X roguelike clone.
Yeah.
Roguelike Mega Man X clone is what I really wanted to say there, but I didn't.
We played it on the channel a while back.
Yeah, that was ages ago.
Yeah.
Also, another thing that really got by us, or at least got by me in the last 2 weeks of frantic hell that my life has been, happy birthday to us!
Hey!
At least...
Are we a year old? Holy shit.
Well, actually, to us, I mean, we are almost 2 years old.
Hot damn.
It has been a year since we started posting Let's Plays and other gaming content to our YouTube channel.
Woo!
The first Let's Play that I posted was actually toward the end of March, and it was Suzanne and I starting to play through Yoshi's Woolly World.
Oh man, that was way back.
Yeah.
A whole damn year.
So, to everyone that's watched and supported and subscribed from point A to point B, thank you so damn much for giving this channel the time of day and watching and commenting and letting us know you support us. It means a lot to me because I lose a lot of sleep over this channel. I'm up till 3 a.m. usually editing these things, and I just hit the export button. I'm just going to sleep on my office chair now. Which is why I'm really afraid. I want to get one of those racerback chairs for the office.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm very afraid that I'm gonna be like one day, like, all right, I'm just gonna sleep.
Choke on your beard.
Someday that'll happen. Like, and if that's how I'm gonna go, man, I love irony. Like, put fucking like an O. Henry quote on fucking on my tombstone. I don't know. I can't remember any of his really famous stories. That was like eighth grade that I read a bunch of his shit.
Yeah,
Unofficial
we got
thanks to
news.
yeah, unofficial
Oh,
thanks to
sorry.
Stone for today's beer of the day for me.
Huzzah.
Stone Tangerine Express IPA. So, here we go. That's not the button I wanted to hit.
Whoop.
All right, first things first, as a follow up to the story we covered toward the end of 2 weeks ago's show, where we talked about KOF 14 and Rock Howard and all the DLC. Well, it's here.
Yeah, it came out real like sneaky like.
Surprise! Surprise
I
DLC.
yeah, because I honestly I can't remember if SNK ever said when it was going to come out. I know they
No.
announced like they put out the characters and the trailers and the silhouette, and I guess yeah, it's done. It's ready to go.
Yeah, it
Boom
was
bam out the door.
right after they announced Rock Howard, literally 4 or 5 days later, the KOF 14 2.0 patch went live on PSN, and also all the DLC went live on the PSN store, which was 4 characters and I think 4 or 5 stages
Nice.
to play on that are like modern renditions of classic stages.
Oh
Like
sweet.
there's the Highern Fleet. There's an old ballroom from King of Fighters 2002 that they redid.
I want to say Hydron's fleet was already in the game, so it might have been something else.
It could have been. I didn't think so. But then again, usually when it comes to stages, I always pick the super arena, and I don't care about anything else.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like King of Fighters 14 stages. 'Cause I remember like one specifically where there's like flags waving in the background, and I think
Yeah,
that's like the fleet stage. And I remember that detail because it was like, oh man, if they were still doing pixels, those would look really pretty. Um, Stages. Oh, perfect. Yeah, Hydron Fleet is part of the base game.
oh, it was okay.
Yeah,
Well, oops. I'm sorry. I
I
didn't
think.
fact check.
Yeah,
Look,
I think
I'm a real journalist.
they put Whip there for obvious reasons, like in the trailer. That might be what threw you off.
Yeah,
But yeah, fucking KOF DLC, and it's
so,
not just like themes and costumes and shit. It's actual stuff.
no, there are all 4 characters went live at a cost of $5.99 per character.
That's not too
Um,
bad.
no, it's not bad. And there's actually a $20 bundle that you can buy all 4 characters and stages.
Oh, sweet.
And that because that's what I did because I wanted all characters. I got my waifu back. Not the same Vanessa I remember. It's a bit of a learning experience, but nevertheless,
Yeah.
I got my waifu back. Um, and also, there's some. I didn't realize there's some other costumes. Like you can get Nightmare Geese as a costume.
Yeah, well, they announced Nightmare Geese like a while ago,
Yeah,
and
it may have actually been on the PlayStation Store, and I just glossed
yeah,
over it by accident.
I never really looked around. I because they've announced like stuff like that, like Nightmare Geese. I think.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, fucking. I appreciate that they made new stages too. That's one thing. Like I feel like stages don't get enough love anymore. But
yeah.
man, like a good fighting, especially like back in the day, like classic SNK stages were so good looking.
And I think we marvel at that actually on a video you can catch later this week. I think we're gonna earmark it for Saturday. Where
Sure.
we've started playing story modes of old arcade games and fighting games and stuff like that to really bring you the lore of the game instead of oh look, I just bought this game straight to training mode.
Yeah.
So
The
we started with
unsung.
yeah, we started with the original Fatal Fury,
Oh yes.
and
Talk about a throwback.
yes, and we remarked at some of the early beauty that SNK truly did have in their stages.
Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, there's some ugly stuff in that game, like Terry, but the stages were legit. There was some like pretty cool stuff going on for like what is basically one of SNK's earlier games. Way before we get into the fucking metal slugs and all of
Oh,
that
yes.
insanity.
Sorry, everybody. I blow my nose on stream. Ugh. But in addition to the all the DLC, there was the 2.0 patch, which has a staggering, miserable 25-page update list.
Oh my god. They saved it up.
Yeah,
Most games they would like do balance patches every couple months, and like feel it out. Apparently SNK they they fucking bottle it in and hold on for like, I mean, what, the game came out like sometime last year,
it was
right?
August, I think. Yeah, actually,
Yeah,
that sounds right to me.
they've been just saving themselves and finally just blew their load on this one patch.
Right. Yeah,
Fucking
and they had some minor functionality things like they updated the SNK splash at the beginning. I noticed that the first thing when I loaded it up.
nice.
Um, it's the SNK the future is now splash.
Oh yeah, the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, some great training mode things like max mode gauges that you can fill up. Um, DLC characters being in there, 6 player colors, netcode
nice.
improvements. And then you start getting into other crazy things like now everyone has different health attributes. It's not just 1,000 across the board.
Huh.
And
So
then you start. Go ahead.
they finally relented and like I imagine gave like, grapplers a little more health. Some of the
Yeah, like
high damage characters a little less maybe.
yeah, like Chang went up to 1,200 health, and actually he's the
God
highest.
damn. I would hope so. Just
Yeah,
by weight, by volume.
yeah. Benny Morrow went down to 950.
Okay.
Yeah, the lowest is actually 900. Nakaruru has 900
Oh,
as the
shucks.
only way that they could nerf that fucking
Yeah.
monstrosity.
Uh,
For those
a
that
true
don't know
nightmare.
about Nakaruru and King of Fighters, holy shit, pardon my French, she's broken.
Yeah. I remember when fucking 14 came out and she was just you pick her and you just win.
Yeah,
That's how you play the game.
but as you can see, as I'm going through here, it's
It
every
is a
character
doozy. At
has
least it's organized.
yeah, and it's all organized by character, and it's usually like it's only like 3 or 4 things per character, with the
Yeah.
exception of Kyo, which is 6. And they don't
There's
actually give
just
you like like how like Street Fighter patches, Street Fighter 5 would be like shorten this from 6 frames to 5. It's red kick EX active frame start faster.
oh, they don't tell you exactly like how fast stuff is
Nope.
or slow down or whatever. That's still
Ish.
better than the fucking Zelda patch that came out.
Yeah.
Did you actually hear about that?
No, I didn't.
So there was a new patch for Breath of the Wild that just came out, in the last 2 weeks. Nintendo's patch notes here. I memorized them.
Oh, jeez, really?
Yeah, adjustments have been made to make the game more pleasurable. Those are the patch notes.
The
That's
f-
it.
the
One sentence,
the
and it's not even
fuck?
a well-written sentence. Like it doesn't say, oh, they don't even
Uh,
mention whether they tried to fix like the fucking frame rate issues or anything. It's just we made the game better. Go fuck yourself. Like
fucking Nintendo, man.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
So the KOF DLC is out. Do pick it up. It's great. The four characters that I've gotten a chance to play with. Yamazaki is literally the same Yamazaki that people have been playing since Yamazaki was born. All his moves have stayed intact. The same like arm whip, the same, the projectile reflecting, etc., etc. Um,
Yeah.
can't really mess with perfection as a friend of mine and Yamazaki main says. Um, whip is scary.
She's like a bangable Merkava. It's glorious.
Yeah. And all you need to do is just hit 4 and light punch a whole bunch of times. 5-hit combo hits from like half screen.
Oh, welcome to the Merkava life. It's
Yep.
glorious.
So do pick it up. It is great. $20 gets you all four characters and all the new stages, and plus the patch is free.
Yeah.
And I haven't actually tested out the new netcode yet, so I can't really speak as to the accuracy of that part of the statement.
The patch is free, and so am I.
Oh God! Speaking of free, those that watched earlier today on Corner Munchers here on Twitch was our broadcast of Mash It Out 16, which started out with a 5v5 team battle of Rochester's best against Buffalo's best.
Oh yeah, how bad was it?
Oh, holy shit. All right. So the format of the battle is very similar to KOF. Winner stays, loser moves on until there's nobody left on the other side.
Yeah.
Buffalo 5-0'd us.
So
They sat
you
down to the first match. The guy won, and the guy just kept winning. Uh,
so basically what you predicted to me on our last recording session came true.
and what I was kind of saying quietly and somewhat out loud under my breath as the event was progressing, as we were setting up and everything. And we thought maybe it was a rage thing from the player because he was actually like of the top 5 people that they wanted on the team, he was like number 8.
Oh.
And they put him up first, and he just smoked everybody.
Is that last kid picked fucking energy that he got?
So
Like, oh, you're not gonna pick me for your fucking volleyball team? All right, I'll just spike the ball in your fucking face.
yeah. So and the crowd banter specifically from one player known as No One Man, who actually did end up winning today's actual Street Fighter V bracket, which you can also see on that broadcast,
Nice.
is very animated and very passionate.
Hey, Cheesy T, welcome to the chat.
Oh shit, the chat, that's in my other window. I have 2 Chrome windows open.
Yeah, Johnny's giving us a little bit of a recap of the tournament today. Are you the guy who annihilated Rochester, you're the same guy that also won Street Fighter, right? That's what you said, Johnny?
That is correct. That Cheesy T is the gentleman who essentially told Rochester where to sit and what to sit on. Because my
Oh shit.
God. And I was sitting there, I was making the brackets for the day. I didn't get a chance to watch or really cheer on, and I'm just like, well, this has been fun. So yes, we're talking about you. It was glorious. Thank you for everything. And made a deep run in the bracket too. I know he at least made top 8. I wasn't paying attention to the bracket toward top 8 because
Oh, okay.
yeah, he beat them in the 5v5. Fred won the tournament. Cheesy T I think went either tied for 7th or tied for 5th. I can't remember which.
Yeah. But yeah, I think what you were going for there, Johnny, when you said thank you, what you meant to say was thank you, sir. May I have another?
Accurate. Accurate
Oh,
indeed. Nevertheless, also, I posted this in our Facebook groups, but to everyone that made it out to Mash It Out today, as the event promoter and runner of brackets and everything, even though I had Buffalo's, like, lord of fighting games helping me out and basically taking over because I'm a scrub when it comes to this shit. I admit it entirely. um, thank you guys for coming out. Much appreciated. Thank you for actually like giving me something better to do on a Sunday besides edit and go shopping.
yeah.
Speaking of good fighting game news that also got played today, Guilty Gear Rev 2 is in the
Oh,
news,
yeah.
specifically on the grounds that we are getting a demo for Rev 2.
All right, all right.
So if you have not tried Guilty Gear out at all, first of all, what are you doing? Second of all, if you want to try it out, and maybe this is where you want to jump into the event, there is a demo available. I don't know if it's probably not going to be you know everything like it is like the pre-order demos that we've gotten for the past two versions. Excuse me, I was waiting for that one. The air pocket like right there, really uncomfortable. Um, I don't know if you're gonna get all characters, but it's gonna be like maybe the two new characters, Baiken, um, and why am I blanking on the other character?
Answer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Uh,
The chip killer, basically, because every chip player is gonna switch to Answer for at least a month as
yeah,
soon
it's
as he
not.
comes.
That sounds about right. I was happy to see a chip in the top 8 of our Guilty Gear bracket. Cheesy
Nice.
Teen Nightman, I just saw in the chat
Yeah.
that he was taken off.
Thank you for joining us.
And he did give us a file today. I actually thanked him out loud. And the guys that were doing comedy was like, "What was I supposed to say that?" It's like, no, because I forgot to turn Twitch alerts on our broadcast.
Uh,
Like this one, if you were to hit the follow button right now, it would say, "So and so has inserted a coin. Thank you, we love you," and it goes. Brrrr. But nevertheless, this demo, yes, it does have uh, the two new characters.
Sweet.
Do do do. However, the more complicated part about this, however, is that those who opt to upgrade their copy of Revelator will be able to get their hands on the demo. It's not a pre-order demo.
Oh.
You can't pre-order the DLC upgrade, so and they haven't really responded yet to anyone tweeting to them about it. But Access Nation on Twitch has done a 2 hour long broadcast showing off a lot of the new changes and everything like that. So this will be available. Do offered a similar deal. Pardon me, I probably should have fact checked before this. Sometime before the end of April.
All right.
So,
Only few weeks away potentially.
right.
Uh,
So, that will be that. And speaking of, all right, this is one thing that we didn't get to cover last week because we were preempted by WrestleMania, but April Fool's Day happened.
yeah.
And
Actually, one thing I just want to mention, like,
go for it.
so on the R Guilty Gear subreddit, just because we were speaking about Guilty Gear,
Yep.
I got a great reminder of why I fucking love this game. Because somebody asked, who's the like cheesiest, most annoying character? And the answer that the subreddit gave was everyone. The entire cast is annoying.
Yeah,
I'm like, I
like
love the diversity in this game where every player has like some, one or two characters that they're like, this is the most annoying one, or I hate that guy, or dealing with, fucking Venom or whoever is such a pain in the ass. And it's all over the cast.
yeah, our grand finals were contested between a scene and a bedman,
Nice.
a godlike bedman.
Oh yeah. Even without his really, he had a really good normal that they actually nerfed like really hard recently, and he's still good. Um,
I remember that actually. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, fucking April Fool's Day.
So on April Fool's Day, our video game developer Arica, known for their work on the Street Fighter EX series, released a very well put together trailer that showed off Kairi, Hokuto, and Garuda from the Street
Yeah.
Fighter EX games. And everyone's like, oh, that would be funny if that was real. Ha ha ha. Funny joke. And then they live streamed the game.
Yeah.
Where's my link?
Oh
There it
man.
is. It's real.
Yeah.
Street Fighter EX and or Fighting Layer EX, whatever you want to call it, on their YouTube page, live streamed, including a special guest appearance by Kazunoko Senpai,
Yes, my senpai.
where the three
Oh.
playable characters were Garuda, Kairi, and Hokuto. And fuck, it looked good.
Yeah. That's like the thing with when they came out with the news on April Fool's Day, it was really like even Maximilian was like, I don't know what to feel. Cause like the trailer looked really like too good to just be a joke.
Right. I was like, no, this can't be. This has got to be like real or something. They're working. This is the Deadpool footage.
Yeah.
This is
And
the
it
Deadpool footage of fighting games.
and in the back of my mind, I was like, I don't know, maybe Audica just has a lot of time and money to fuck around, and they could put together this thing just real quick. And then yeah, like the fucking stream happened, and I'm like, all right, fucking, we're done. Pack it in, boys. Skullomania coming your way.
My God, please, yes.
There's no way they're gonna leave Skullomania out. He's like the most popular character from any of the EX
No,
games.
because everyone's been begging for him in like all the versus games. Like they wanted him in like they've
Yeah,
wanted him since like Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
yeah. Oh man, that's the most exciting thing for me. Like the idea of getting getting Skullomania in HD, 9 billion fucking polygons.
Yes.
Oh man.
Skullomania actually saw play today because the grand finals of our mystery game tournament was Street Fighter EX3.
Nice. Good choice.
Um, I believe he got murdered by a Blanca, but
Oh, lame.
um, nevertheless, I am begging for more information about this as to whether it is like their own fighting IP or whether it's a partner with Capcom.
I get the
Either way,
feeling
go ahead.
I was gonna say I get the feeling it's probably their own thing. Just since, they showed off three of their characters that they own. Um and just like the look of the game and stuff.
To which I
Uh
say, good.
yeah, honestly,
Good.
I'd rather not have Capcom involved.
Specifically, is right now Capcom is like balls deep in two projects: keeping Street Fighter V
Yeah.
going and trying to keep the most ungrateful fan base in the world happy, and the Marvel vs. Capcom developers,
Yeah.
which we haven't
I mean,
we haven't seen anything about that since Cap.
yeah. Yeah, they came out with the one trailer at Capcom Cup, and then they came out with a second one that just introduced Morrigan and
Captain America.
yeah. But yeah, there hasn't been anything about it since then.
No, actually, that came up today
Actually,
at the tournament today. I was like,
yeah.
have they said anything about it? Because we actually ran Marvel. We had an 8-person bracket.
All right.
Marvel lives.
The game that'll never die.
Uh,
Oh man. But yeah, like I think Maximilian actually made a video about how Marvel hasn't had any news in like 8 months or something, or 6 months, whatever,
that's I remember seeing. I don't think I watched it, but I did see he did that. I love his videos so much. Like I
Yeah.
love him as a personality and as like an unbiased party. Now
Yeah.
that he's not really working too much on KI.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not in love with his streams anymore, but like when he does stuff like the fighting history
Yeah, or the like
videos,
this thing legacy, that sort of thing.
yeah, assist me. Any of like the actual like scripted produced videos that he makes are always like really solid.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, fucking Arika making a fighting game again
Yeah,
in
so
3 dimensions.
if it does prove to be true, I hope so, and I really hope they bring back the two characters that got omitted from EX2 and EX3 that are actually from their own IP called Fighting Layer, which is why a lot
Yeah.
of people titled the stream Fighting Layer EX, basically. And
Oh,
that
it'd be
is,
so good if that was the name of the game too.
yeah, one of them was Alan, which actually a lot of his moves wound up with Ace in EX3, where you could like create your own, move set character that was kind of all right but lame at the same time.
Yeah.
Blair, I hope, comes back because I love the way she played in EX1. She's very Blue Mary esque.
Ooh. Yeah.
But nevertheless, I'm begging for more information about this.
Yeah.
Um,
Already I saw like some really like interesting, to me at least, like really promising stuff in that game because I don't play a lot of 3D fighters, but like there was one, like a stage in I think the trailer that I saw that's like on a bridge, like the good old fashioned like Mortal Kombat stage, just this real narrow bridge, but it's a 3D game. So if you get like, if you sidestep enough, your characters are on this narrow bridge on just like the narrow part of it and you can't back up at all, kind of thing. Like I like when games take good advantage of like their systems and concepts.
right,
So having a
and
3D fighter with, a stage that isn't just a limitless plane or a box or something.
that is
I'm like,
that is
oh,
actually one thing I noticed in the trailer. There's actual sidestepping,
yeah.
something that was
Yeah.
absent from all three Street Fighter EX games.
So were they just like 2.5D
Yeah,
essentially?
basically.
Oh, okay.
There
I
was
never
no
knew that.
yeah, there was no sidestepping or anything like that.
Huh.
I'd actually show off some of the Street Fighter EX games, but all my consoles are still in a bag.
Eh.
I've been very, very lazy since I got home. Um,
Oh man.
so, all right, I'm about to get real on this stream. It's about to get real. So, warning, it's about to get real. Fast forward if you're watching this on demand on our YouTube page this Tuesday. So, game developers and publishers and all sorts of gaming personalities have always had issues with the idea of streaming and YouTubes and Let's Plays, etc., etc., etc.
Actually, before we cover that, we have another April Fool's story that
Oh
might
wait,
not actually be an April Fool's joke.
the Sega news that we have.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, before I get, we'll close on getting real before we get into the gaming segment. We'll close with getting real.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, let's start with some happier news. Boy, that's a countdown if I ever saw one.
Yeah. An
This is
exciting countdown. 2 days. This will actually go up the day that this news finally hits and comes out.
that's actually true. You're right.
Yeah. So if you're watching this on Tuesday, what are you doing? It's already,
If you're
just go to Sega's website, find out what's happening.
if you're watching this on Tuesday, what are you doing? You should have been watching this live on Sunday and having a conversation with us, which we truly endorse.
Yeah. Come join our chat. Hang out with us.
Some of the most fun that we've had on this, legit though, has been when people come in and start asking us questions and, really having us cover things. Like we've been like talk about Dota 2, and we did. And I don't mind Dota. I'm just not really a big MOBA fan.
Yeah.
I lack the
But yeah,
patience.
so this all started out with a on April Fool's Day, April 1st, a version of Bayonetta came out on Steam. It was a free to download, essentially a flash game, titled something like 8-bit Bayonetta, and you can jump and shoot. It's basically like a weird sort of arcadey Mega Man game, only you
Jump and
can't
shoot.
really run. Yeah, you can't run. You just stand at one end of the screen and jump and try to shoot angels that are coming at you from the other end. But if you score high enough in the game, if you get the high score or whatever, um, the game will send you a link, or it'll give you a link to this countdown on Sega's website, which has like some weird fucking number after it. It's kind of hard to find if you're just poking around. Um,
141111219.
yeah. And basically, what's going on is there's a countdown, and we don't know if you can see it in the stream, but
It's fairly visible.
in the background of the photo, or in the background of the screen, behind the countdown, there's a rendering of a foot in high heel with a gun attached to it, um, and some bullet casings and a ribbon. Which
I
basically it's Bayonetta.
I just this moment noticed the ribbon actually, which I'm highlighting
Oh
the
yeah,
Hungary ones right now.
yeah. So there's various levels of hype that I have for this. My dream, my hope beyond hopes, is that we get a Bayonetta 3 out of this. That seems extremely unlikely. I'd love Sega forever if they took the money they just got from Persona and 1.5 million copies sold and counting for Persona 5, and put that money towards another Bayonetta game.
Sega published that?
Well, Sega owns Atlas now. They bought Atlas out
Holy shit! When did that happen?
like a year ago. Sega
How
Atlas.
did I miss that?
Uh, yeah, GameStop. When was this? Yeah. Oh, wow. This was in 2013. Excuse me. I don't understand time very well. Um,
Fuck.
so basically, Atlas used to be owned by a company called Index Corporation that essentially went bankrupt. So Sega bought them out for cheap in 2013, which is astonishing because I didn't think Sega had that much money in 2013. Um, but anyway, so yeah, Sega is doing something with Bayonetta on Tuesday. An announcement of a third game would blow my fucking mind. But what I'm expecting is a Steam port of Bayonetta 1. Because Nintendo owns Bayonetta 2 because they co-published it, and I'm
Right.
sure if Bayonetta 2 was coming out, they would announce it for, or well, if Bayonetta 2 was getting ported to anything, it would be Switch, and Nintendo would be making that announcement rather than Sega.
Correct.
Um, the other thing it could be is the Bayonetta amiibo finally getting released, but honestly, I think Nintendo's just never going to do it. Um,
I doubt it, and honestly, with the fact that this is a Sega URL,
yeah, it's Sega's website. They put this little game out on Steam. Everything points to basically a port of the first game for Steam. Especially now that like Platinum, they released Near Automata on Steam more or less simultaneous with the PlayStation version. They've put Transformers on Steam. They put Revengeance on Steam. So they've done a couple PC ports at this point. Um, so it wouldn't be out of the question for Platinum to just go back and be like, hey, we've got this game that we made 8 years ago. We can probably slap it onto modern PCs without too much trouble. So that'll be
yes,
nice. I fucking love the Bayonetta games, so I will absolutely buy the shit out of it if it's on Steam and run it at fucking 1440p and like 900 frames a second on my new gaming PC.
I'll be honest. Like that was always a game. That was a game that kind of got by me. That I was like, oh, I want to play that, and I never.
Dude, it's so good.
I actually saw it on the shelf at GameStop the other day, and I'm like, maybe I'll pick this up someday.
I would recommend getting the Steam port in 2 days.
If that is in fact what it is, I absolutely would because the
Yeah,
other
because
alternative is
honestly,
an Xbox 360.
yeah, honestly, the PS3 and 360 versions they run okay now. Now that like there's been a lot of patches and stuff, but if like honestly, if I was gonna play the game again, I would either play the Wii U version, because it got ported to that when Bayonetta 2 came out, or I'd assuming this is an announcement of a PC like a Steam version, I'd play that where I have a lot more control over how powerful my machine is and things like that.
Yeah, and I can actually tweak the finer points of it.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm fucking stoked about this. Bayonetta is one of the few games that I've actually worked on a speed run of because I like it that much.
Yeah, and actually, reading an article here from AGN. I have been at my local gaming lounge for too long today. IGN.
AJ.
IGN. It's also worth remembering at last year's E3 that Platinum Games director Hideki Kamiya was asked about a potential third entry, and he said, "Of course we want to make a 3. Why should it end at
Yeah.
2?"
Yeah. I mean, it's that game is kind of not like his absolute super baby because I don't think Kamiya-san he didn't direct like the second game. Like he was involved in it, but he wasn't the main guy behind it like he was with the first game. But he's very attached to that franchise, and I can absolutely imagine him wanting to get more of these games out there and fucking made, especially now that Microsoft canceled his actual baby.
Right.
Bill Gates, went right to his house, found his wife, kicked her right in the belly. Yeah,
That got a little dark.
that got a little Wattcast. But yeah, I mean, they canceled Scalebound on him, when the game was looking nearly, or at least like 80, 60, 70% done, you
That
know.
is that is tragic.
Yeah, oh man, I really hope Sega does a third game. Like they're just picking up the pieces of, the fucking, because I mean, they just finished near, Scalebound got canceled. Like now would be a good time for Sega to just call up Platinum and be like, "Hey, you guys want to make another game?" They'll be like, "Yeah, we're not really busy." Like, how about another Bayonetta? People like those. It's like, well, the first two didn't really sell that well. And it's like, yeah, but the second one was on fucking Nintendo. It didn't have
Yeah.
a chance to sell well.
Right. Yeah. It started on like the truly handicapped market.
Yeah. It's like it started out on a console where, well, it didn't start out on uh Switch, Wii U, but it ended up on a console made by a company that doesn't know what the word anti-aliasing means.
Oh my god,
So,
yes.
yeah,
It is
man,
like
like
I mean I've praised how well Breath of the Wild looks on Wii U, but I saw it today on the Switch. It is
wait.
actually,
Oh,
yeah, the
like at
Breath.
the tournament?
Yeah, because Chris, the guy that owns AGN, actually bought a Switch, and
Oh,
his employee, in between like checking out like snacks and stuff like that, was sitting there on the Switch portable mode playing Zelda Breath of the Wild, and it still looked better than the Wii U
yeah.
version.
I've heard that's like the best way to play it for like graphics and especially the frame rate is Switch undocked. Because the Switch is a little better than the Wii U hardware wise, and undocked it's 720 instead of 900. So
Right.
yeah, but
Speaking
yeah,
of really powerful systems, though,
eh,
one other thing came out this week. Uh, Xbox One's Project Scorpio has released its technical specs. And fuck, man.
I mean, it seems like this is basically they're jumping the gun on next gen here. Is kind of what I'm feeling. Maybe,
It's
maybe I don't know.
they do really feel like they're trying to get into the what would be ninth gen at this point.
Yeah, I think current consoles are eighth generation video games, video game consoles. Yep, yeah. Currently, we're in the eighth, which Xbox One, PS4, etc. Um, but
Would
yeah,
be
so Xbox One, there's 6 teraflops.
yeah. I honestly I'm not entirely sure what teraflops are, but
They're big flops.
thanks. Fucking great insight. Dynamite insight, Mitch. That's why we brought you onto this podcast.
Well,
Dynamite drop in. Fly ball caught.
it's a measure of like data throughput, basically.
I just
Um,
quoted Major League. I'm so happy with myself.
but yeah, I guess Xbox kind of I feel like Microsoft kind of got the message with how poorly the Xbox One itself has sold. And
And
they're like, "All
honestly,
right, we get it. You want a gaming machine out of your gaming machine, not
it
a personal home media machine out of your media machine."
yeah, because at times like the actual like video game performance of Xbox One games is unforgivable.
Yeah.
Like when I'm dropping frames playing Killer Instinct
Oof.
on Xbox One,
Oh
but my
no.
but my PC is pristine. What's
Yeah.
that? I
That's
don't want to
pretty
plug my
bad.
cable box into my video game system. Like one of that was one of my favorite uh I forget the name of this video series, but someone took the Xbox One launch at E3 or like no, the pre E3 press conference that they did and overdubbed like what they were actually saying.
Uh, hey, Calb of Katarina, welcome to the chat room. And I did put 1 point of 1 level into Dex, but if you tell anybody, I'll fucking kill you. Um,
Oh, is this someone that popped onto your
it's in the chat. The legend never dies.
Yes, if you notice I finally remember to change our respective factoids at the bottom
Oh yeah, yeah. I just noticed that.
to one reflect our my brilliant performance in my mystery game tournament today, and to reiterate that Mitch is getting swole simply because of Dark Souls.
Yeah. So on Fridays, I've been streaming Dark Souls 3. I've been working on a soul level run one that has, I'll be honest, run into a fucking wall. Um, but every death is like 10 burpees or 10 push-ups or 10 sit-ups or squats.
Oh, Mitch, you love those
Um,
burpees, don't you?
oh, they're great. Really. They're actually pretty good. I do kind of like them because they're
It's
such a pain in the ass.
no, it's a great workout. It's a great full body workout, but fuck, dude.
I hate when I have to run 30 seconds to a boss fight, get killed in the next 30 seconds, and have to work out again with like no rest period. That's not so fun. But
God, that's like fucking video gaming CrossFit at that point.
yeah. But yeah, fucking
You can thank user
uh
Sniper's daughter for that one. She messaged me on a one of our social media platforms like Mitch should do burpees, and I went okay, and I told you like you're like what's a burpee? You looked it up.
yeah, I actually
Okay,
know
I'll
what
do that. I believe one stream you devoted entirely to burpees, and I remember getting a text from you when you were done. It says, "Fuck burpees."
Yeah. Yeah, I want to say it might have been the Doom stream, or it might have been the one right before that. But
I
I
believe it.
started out doing burpees, and I got through like 30 or 40, and I was like, I need to switch. I'm fucking done. This is killing me.
I think it was the one beforehand because I remember when we got onto the session that night to record Let's Play footage. I believe you're like, God, I hope here. Hang on, and then you had to look up and make sure the guy that created burpees was
Was
actually
actually
dead.
dead. Yeah. Oh man.
Uh,
But yeah, getting back to the news.
so
Xbox One S, X Scorpio, excuse me, Xbox Scorpio. Um, yeah, they're pushing a 6 teraflop throughput for the GPU. It was a big milestone or marker that they wanted to hit. Um,
yeah,
we've
the
actually got a convenient chart of the
yeah,
kind of comparing
there we go.
all this stuff.
Let me blow
And
this
this,
up for the hungry ones here and punch Mitch back in here. Just there you go. You're good.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna
You,
say it looks pretty beefy, honestly. I mean,
yeah.
you know,
And actually, another thing to note: the GPU is actually being developed by AMD, so they're going with them for their graphic processing.
yeah, that's pretty. I mean, that's pretty consistent with just kind of graphics cards and or well, not graphics cards, graphics cards, consoles. Recently, AMD does really good at kind of more the consumer sort of mass produced market. You know, stuff like consoles. Like if you look at the chart, PS4, PS4 Pro both already use AMD um, for CPUs and GPUs. Uh, they're good at making stuff a little cheaper than like Intel and Nvidia,
Yeah,
which serve more of like the PC gamer enthusiast market. But yeah, fucking 2.3 gigahertz, 8 core processor.
yeah, and it's a
Uh,
customized 4D composite units at um,
that's the big one that I see across this whole comparison. They're going from these 12 compute units at like sub 1,000 megahertz to 40 units on the new GPU for the Scorpio at like 1172 megahertz. That's a huge jump.
that. Yeah, that's massive, especially when looking from the Xbox One S to the Xbox Scorpio.
Yeah. I mean, like you look at like the PS4 to the PS4 Pro went from 18 to 36, which is still doubled, and they boosted the clock rate, like 100 megahertz, but still, like going from 12 by 900 to 40, that's over triple. Like the GPU is like over three, possibly four times faster, basically,
Yeah,
or beefier. A lot more RAM too, like 8 gigabytes of DDR3 to 12 of DDR5.
yeah, and then
So that's
the memory bandwidth alone is like
oh yeah,
like fisting jump than everything else that's on the market right now.
yeah. That is an insane jump. So yeah, like that's why I'm saying like this thing almost seems like it's going to be a ninth gen console,
Yeah,
essentially.
this
The
is
the C
go on.
oh sorry, the CPU, like the main CPU is a little faster, but between the GPU, the memory, and the bandwidth, it's like, and those are the three big things for actually putting stuff on screen.
Yeah,
It's such a big jump.
and
Um,
the technical testing that one has to do with things like this is got to be immense, and I hope they work this out to where it is actually good for consumers.
yeah, that's the one like kind of thing that I'm concerned about. Is with these big spec jumps, like how expensive is this thing gonna be?
Yeah, between how expensive
Uh,
is it going to be and how what's the word I'm looking for? Is it going to perform as it's supposed to and not fail?
yeah, because Microsoft has a bit of a history with that.
Microsoft has a great way of giving the middle finger to the early adopters.
Yeah, holy shit, the Xbox 360. Oh man, I worked at GameStop like right around the time the 360 came out,
So did
and
I.
oh god, it was just a nightmare.
I remember when we got
Like,
like the big we used to call the big Xbox bundles that we would get in like the because they had like the regular one that didn't come with the hard drive or anything, and then there's like the big bundle.
yeah,
We called those
yeah,
the 40 pound special because they came in like two to a box, and then we're like, fuck, ugh, here's your system.
yeah. But yeah, other than spec stuff, we don't have a lot of other info on the console. Microsoft has said that they want to try and make it more compact. It'll have an internal power supply, which is nice because I hate bricks. Um,
Yeah,
the fucking oh, that was one thing that always pissed me off about the 360 is that goddamn
God,
brick.
fuck that. Like, there's nowhere to put it in your entertainment system either.
Yeah.
And Nintendos are
Oh
monumentally
god,
worse.
I hate that everything with Nintendo has a brick.
Yeah,
Like,
like the
there's a
Wii
brick
U.
for my Wii U. There's a brick for my fucking charging cable for my gamepad.
That's
Like,
the thing right there. The gamepad
yeah,
charger has a brick.
which could totally like that thing. That could have been at least a wall wart, or better yet, just power it through USB like a sane person.
We had to make our own proprietary connection.
Yeah,
You can't buy a
but
mini B. That's too easy.
yeah, fucking. There is a little bit of talk here about the heatsink in the Scorpio. I guess it's based on some NVIDIA. They're using this vapor chamber heatsink. I don't really know much about how it works, but I guess NVIDIA uses it in some of their cards
I was
or a
gonna say
similar
I
idea.
think that's in a lot of their more high end like the Titans, the SLIs,
Yeah,
like the 1080s.
yeah, but like it's exciting to know that they're actually trying to design the interior in a nice way because that's one thing that really kind of threw up some red flags for me about the Xbox One when that came out. Is the inside of that console is kind of a mess. Like if you just open it up and look at inside it, it's fine, I guess. But then you open up a PS4 and it's beauty. It is like poetry and engineering. It's sexy to look at.
Yeah,
The interior of a PS4 is a thing to behold, and the interior of an Xbox One is functional.
and
Not like in a good way, like it gets the job done. Like I guess it, is there. They put everything inside.
that's that's the most accurate way I could hear that described.
There isn't just a fucking circuit board sticking out of one side of the console or anything. So
I'm waiting for a console to be like an inside out console.
for
Everything's on the
maximum
outside.
heating.
Yeah, maximum cooling. You could put a fan on it. Box
Just go
fan
to your
from
Office
Walmart.
Depot. Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, so apparently more info coming at E3, including like an actual unit we can look at or pictures, form factor, specs, more to go.
It just occurred to me that we are like months away from E3.
Oh yeah, huh?
Like it's April. You said like more to come in E3. I'm like, shit, that's like a month and a half away. And like that episode's like our waking nightmare every time we do the podcast after E3.
Yeah.
We have a
I don't
spreadsheet for links.
know. E3s have been at least somewhat tame in recent memory.
Last year was fucked, man.
Oh yeah.
Last year E3 was worth covering. That's why.
Yeah, I know we've had like I think the year before last was kind of weak, but
The year before last was actually that was the year hiatus from the channel, and I remember I was doing it with
oh.
two local independent wrestlers.
Hmm.
Shout outs to Thomas Brewington of the IndyCard Mafia and Eric Emanon. Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Yeah.
Um, so we are
We have
very
one.
much looking forward to seeing what the inside of this project of the Xbox Scorpio or what. I think this is just like a project name. I don't know if that's actually what they're gonna go with. I hope not.
Yeah, it's a
Get,
working title right now. I'm sure
get,
they'll find something dumber, like Xbox One X has been floated.
Xbox -1.
Xbox One X Zero or like Xbox X Zero. Um,
No. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna start adopting Kingdom Hearts naming conventions for the system.
oh no. Oh god. Xbox X.5. Xbox 1.5. Oh god, kill me now.
Xbox 1.5 chain of this is what we had for dinner last night. It
Uh,
was an amazing buffet of shrimp and scallops.
uh, Xbox One memories of like an unsung disaster. Fucking
Birth by sleep.
yeah. Oh man. Oh, what a title.
Ugh.
You know what? The band Sleep should get back together and write a record and call it Birth.
I
Then we'd
could
have Birth by Sleep.
I could get behind that if it wasn't already a Kingdom Hearts title.
Yeah. No, we're gonna take it back, man.
It's like Randall from Clerks 2. It's okay, I'm
Yeah.
taking it back.
Okay. So we have one last, like, for serious piece of news. Um,
All right, yes, we do. I am going to record a formal vlog about this, but I'm going to preach about this on the podcast also. Because obviously it is something very near and dear to us because we're involved in this. So
yeah.
Persona 5 dropped last week. Um,
Yeah.
some people were
The good
bold enough to have broken Street Date. Good for you guys.
Yeah, we're kind of it seems like we're getting more and more into an age where between, various sellers online trying to get deliveries on just the right days, because people want, pre-order day of delivery and just, stores and various people not really caring. Street dates are becoming less of a thing.
Yeah, like
More and more people are getting stuff on Monday or, whatever.
yeah,
But
like case in point with that. Actually, I have my copy of Ukulele on pre-order across the street at GameStop. Um, the street date is set for 4/11, which is Tuesday. It's already in their back room.
yeah,
So, and obviously review copies have been going out, and reviews are mixed about it. But it's
it's
go ahead.
if we want to talk about ukulele for a second, the way I see it is like, yeah, the reviews are mixed, and like a lot of what I've been seeing is essentially people complaining that the game hasn't. It's just basically more Banjo Kazooie. You know, flaws and scars and scabs and all. For better or worse, it's basically just Banjo Kazooie again. And like I can see where like a critic would be like, Banjo Kazooie wasn't a perfect game, and neither is this. But the thing is, it's a Kickstarter game,
Yeah,
so it's a game being made for a very small, specific audience. And the developers were completely honest when like people understood. The people who backed the game were like, "We want more of this," and the developers were like, "We want to make more of this." So in that sense, the game is a complete success, I think. It just so happens that it's not a perfect game. It's a game made for people who didn't necessarily want a perfect game, I guess is the best way to put it. They
yeah,
wanted a throwback to their good old fashioned.
yeah, and like for me, like I hadn't until recently, and actually the past couple of nights, I've been sort of binge playing the original Banjo Kazooie. 'Cause I didn't have an N64 in its heyday. I had the PlayStation
Yeah,
when Banjo Kazooie came out. And I'm like, I kind of want to play that, but I didn't want to spend the money on a console at that time. And then even when I did get a 64 after, like, several years after its heyday, that wasn't one that I actually picked up because I'm like, maybe I'll play it. Because
yeah,
I love platformers, but puzzle platformers, they're like, yeah, maybe. But like I was playing it last night and getting like there's that frustration level as a gamer that you have that is really like you need that.
yeah,
Like that is like the balance to your I love what I'm doing. Because that eventually makes you want to put the thing down. And actually, I turned that off and put on DuckTales Remastered because I still haven't really played that either. Um,
nice.
and I'm getting really amped for the Afternoon Collection in 2 weeks,
Oh yeah,
which is just digital. I found out unless Limited Run gets their hands on it.
yeah. That's not too surprising.
Yeah, but from all of this, and ukulele will be playing on the channel. It's in some capacity.
All right.
Because I really like. I'm looking forward to. I've been watching this for ages. Like it's one of those games that I'm like I've been following like every video that IGN's put up, every criticism that Game Explain has put up. So we will be playing that in some capacity. Like, my New Year's resolution has already come true. That at some point we're gonna have a video every day of the week. And I'm actually doing pretty well at keeping up on it. I think.
Yeah.
So not to Barry Horowitz myself, but
No, you just jinxed yourself. Now we're gonna like run dry on Let's Play videos.
Oh no, we're not. Between like
Anyway,
yeah. But anyway, let's move on to what I'm half avoiding right now.
yeah,
So as Let's Players, we have certain issues. Some video game developers are very much okay with the concept of a Let's Play or a walkthrough video or any video content on YouTube regarding their video game. Most specifically indie developers, because it is the greatest form of free advertising that any business person could beg for.
yeah.
Then there's companies that are clearly not okay with the times, and they're like, no, no one needs to see what this is. Case in point, Nintendo, and the fact that we haven't been able to monetize off of any of the Zelda videos because we've gotten flagged for each of them.
Well, are
And
they just flagging our monetization?
yeah, basically they're claiming
Okay.
it's monetized by claimant. Like honestly,
Yeah.
they're the only things airing ads on our channel right now, which is the vlog that I will be recording later in the week.
Hmm.
Because
I
of
was gonna
YouTube.
say,
Go
at
ahead.
the very least, Nintendo, like, they're not giving us a copyright strike or a takedown. They're basically
It's
just saying, "Hey, you put our game on YouTube, we want the advertising money because
yeah,
we made the game."
exactly, and to an extent I can see that, but I know there's also some developers that are very friendly with that that will
Yeah.
split monetization with you.
Yeah.
Um, Actually, I think a couple of the Nintendo videos that I did post, like the Mario Maker videos, uh, I have split monetization. Maybe it was I can't remember which one it was, but it's like a yellow one. It's like split monetized.
Yeah.
I think it was
But
something
I
fun.
bring that I
Go ahead.
bring that semantic point up specifically to get into this Atlas thing, which is
Yes.
basically Atlas saying, "Hey, streamers and YouTubers, don't put up anything that isn't in the trailer." That's what they made this announcement like the day the game came out, more or less, and that's
Yeah.
basically what it boils down to. They've got a
It.
lot of really specific rules. Don't show boss fights. Don't show certain cutscenes. Don't show any of the game after July 7th, the in-game date, July 7th.
Yes.
Because you play through a year, starting in I want to say February ish. So you
Yeah.
get like
That's
four
about right.
months of in-game time, and other things and all this stuff. Um, and the reason I brought up the Nintendo monetization thing is because Atlas has basically said if you do this stuff and you show things we don't want, we'll potentially issue a copyright strike or a takedown on your channel.
Yeah.
Um,
Which
which I have really conflicted feelings about this whole thing.
so do I, and that's what I was gonna get to. On one hand,
Yeah,
they're telling everybody this is what we are going to do if you do this. And they're giving you flat out guidelines of, you know, this is what you can and can't do. They might
yeah,
be very limited in game, but they are warning you flat out like, this is what we'd like you to show. We like what you're doing. We like that Let's Plays exist. You go right ahead. Do what you have to do. Just don't do this, this, and this. And it's really like, it's they're like uh, the boss that says, do this, but don't do this.
yeah. Which I can appreciate them warning people and giving us guidelines that are very clear.
And
Um,
frankly, I thank them for giving us the guidelines so that we don't run into things that we'd like. Even as content creators, we're still wary of like, we don't want to, we want to make sure that we keep this experience fresh. We don't want to step on any toes, anything like that.
yeah,
It's a very much like handshake environment where, it's a trust fall.
yeah. And like I can see kind of where they're coming from with the fact that they don't want certain content, a lot of the content from the game shown. It's similar to like essentially Marvel saying, like Marvel Studios saying, "Hey, don't put the next Avengers movie up on YouTube the day it comes out. We want people to go to the theater and see the movie, and if they can just watch it on YouTube, maybe they won't go to the theater." Like I get where that rationale comes from.
Right.
Um, but then there's kind of our end as like let's players and gamers and people just want to have fun, and it's like, really, guys? Like, I mean, I hope that they're only planning to enforce this for like a limited period, a month, 6 months, whatever.
I
Eventually,
I
yeah.
kind of feel like that's what they're leaning to. So just to really get down to the specifics of what Atlas is doing with this. Excuse me, I'm stuffed up because of the beer. Um, in-game content limit. Please post video content through the in-game date of 7/7, which I don't know how far that is. I think it's maybe like I think it's like 10, 15 hours. I don't know. I'm not really huge into the Persona series in general, but this is really this hits home to us.
Based
Um,
on what I know about it, that at the beginning of the game, you're basically told you're going to be in this for a year. You start in February, so 7/7 is probably like the first third ish of the game,
yeah, I feel
maybe
like
like the
that's
first
where like the
quarter.
first like M Night Shyamalan twist happens or something.
Yeah, there's something big that happens in July. We know that.
Yeah,
So it's like, yeah, like based on what I've seen estimates of, that's like 20 to 25 ish hours into the game, probably
yeah,
maybe 30. Um, Out of like 100 to 120 hours of gameplay,
yeah,
JRPGs.
yeah. So first things first, Atlas is begging people not to post spoilers. Good. Um, like that's part of why I'm actually starting to in all of the cutscenes and everything in Zelda put like different video footage over there because it's really something
Yeah,
that should be experienced by the player. It aids in the immersion of really soaking into the game and be like feeling you're a part of this, you are controlling this thing. Good.
yeah.
That is what gaming is supposed to be to me.
And like going back to my Marvel analogy, the reason I brought that up partly is because Persona 5 is an extremely narrative heavy game. It's
Yes.
basically, 20% gameplay and 80% cutscenes and dialogue.
It almost
Um,
suffers from Xenosaga system symptoms.
yeah. So I can totally see where, somebody making a narrative experience basically tells people, is wanting to ask people, hey, don't put the entire narrative experience out there for free for people to watch. If you can just watch all the cutscenes, that's 90% of the game.
Yeah.
Um,
Like yeah, like out there
but
I know there's like those dickheads that'll post like Persona 5 all cutscenes.
oh yeah,
You're going to
I
get flagged and you fucking deserve it.
yeah. Um, it's just the fact that it gets into like let's players too is kind of
Yeah.
annoying for us.
Right. Like and then like, don't post any specific plot points. Like good example, it deals with dark themes right off the bat. Don't post they immediately run into a pervy teacher, which it's
Yeah. Oh god, that guy. He's such a douchebag. I was watching my roommate play it
ah,
because, fuck Atlas, I'm a rebel. Oh, I watched someone else play the game instead of playing it myself in my own house with my roommate. Fucking, but
I altered
yeah,
a thing that I own. I violated the
yeah.
terms of service.
Oh my god, I removed a screw. Fucking call the police. Yeah. But yeah, the first sort of villain ish, the first bad guy you run into is basically this skeezy ass teacher who he's like an Olympic athlete and he's got like a gold medal, so he thinks he's just the fucking cock of the walk and he can do whatever he wants.
Oh, so he's heel Kurt
Um,
Angle?
yeah, basically. Uh,
I won a gold medal and a broken freaking neck. By the way, congratulations to Kurt Angle for getting in the WWE Hall of Fame. Great speech, by the way.
oh yeah, he deserved it. Oh man, did you see the fucking Undertaker at Wrestle? The whole, oh, that was beautiful.
And
I didn't
I,
watch WrestleMania, but I watched like highlights and
and
stuff.
I, here's what I feel bad for is the fact that rather than really herald a man whose career has spanned almost 30 years
Yeah,
and really given us so many great memories, everyone's focused on, dude, Roman Reigns sucks. Why was he the guy?
whatever.
Exactly. Anyway,
Yeah,
so Viewers, obviously, of these content are should be highly wary of spoilers. Touche. That should be happening anyway.
Yeah.
Uh, in-game content limit through the in-game date of 7/7. Video content. Here's where we get into bullet points. Bullet points, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You can post as many additional videos as you like, but please limit them to less than 90 minutes. Which, if you're posting 90-minute YouTube videos, man, you're doing shit wrong.
Yeah. Like what's that even supposed to prevent? Like there's no tangible difference between 9 10 minute videos and one 90-minute video.
Like, unless you're watching 90 minutes of somebody grinding and
Yeah.
like talking about what they had for lunch and the sex they had the night before, the fuck even.
Yeah.
No major story spoilers, and it's really left up to good judgment.
Yeah. But I mean, they kind of have to do that. If they said, "Oh, don't spoil the fact that, this character is actually this or that," they would spoil their own game telling you what not to spoil.
Right, and
So, I guess they
avoid
kind of have
showing
to
like
leave that.
your first interaction with Yusuke and the awakening and the painting and this. So it's really like, specific. I haven't played the game and I don't know that I will. Unless
Yeah.
unless they make Persona 5 Arena, in which case I will piss myself.
Oh man. That reminds me. I was actually at GameStop today. Um and the clerk was a huge Persona fan. He was talking about 5 and I was talking about like, yeah, I've been watching my roommate play it and like, yeah, I really like Persona. Never played a mainline Persona game. I've played Persona Q for DS or 3DS. I've played the fighting games. I've watched the animes, but you really don't have to actually play the games to
Uh,
be a fan and really be into Persona
yeah,
because
I
there's
mean,
just so much tie-in shit.
yeah, for crap's sake, like I have a Teddy keychain,
Oh yeah, like fucking.
and I've
I
I've
got
only
the
I've only played the fighting game,
yeah.
which actually that's play in the mystery tournament. That's where my two losses came from. That was the
Oh,
first because I went up against somebody that actually played the game,
oh yeah, that'll do it.
and and he played Ken,
Ah, fucking. Ugh, Ken is the worst.
and I play Akihiko,
The
the
Akihiko,
boxer.
isn't he? Oh, right. Not the guy with the chair,
No, that's
right?
Kanji.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right, Kanji. Okay, now I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah,
Akihiko takes his shirt off. Yeah,
yeah, the protein jacked or whatever. I forget what his moniker
that's
is.
right.
But
Yeah.
he's really into having to get in on your opponent.
Yeah.
So that's just a shit matchup going into it because you have
That's a shitty
doggo.
match.
That's
That's a
shit.
shitty matchup in real life. Yeah, I've got no shirt and my bare fists, and I'm going up against. I mean, it's a 12-year-old, but he's got a spear and a dog.
And a dog. The dog
Yeah,
is what fucked my shit up.
that dog is like one of the best characters. It's such a shame that he ends up with Ken. Fucking Ken deserves to die. Ken is such a shitlord.
You hear that, no one, man? I deserve to win that match.
Well, I
But
mean, if you
anyway,
got outplayed, you got outplayed.
no,
It just so happened.
I was up against the guy that won Guilty Gear and Street Fighter.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
how the fuck even? Like, the only way I was gonna win is if we played like Tobal number 1 or like World Warrior.
Oh man.
Anyway, back to the Persona thing. I know I mentioned not showing off the end of each palace, but you can grab footage from boss fights, but don't include this. It's really specific.
Yeah, and it's weird how specific they get.
Yeah, don't focus solely on cutscenes, animated scenes, just dungeon crawl and town crawls. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, basically show gameplay, because we don't care if you show the gameplay. There's not like a lot to learn, generally just in the world of Let's Play, seeing gameplay isn't really that spoily. generally.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, the narrative elements which the game is primarily built on. It's like I think I was talking about with Mass Effect Andromeda a while back, where the thing that people love about Mass Effect is the characters and the character development and the dialogue. And Andromeda is better than the other Mass Effect games at certain elements of combat and level design, but it fails at the things people want a Mass Effect game for.
Or for that
Um,
matter, anything developed by BioWare.
yeah, uh, yeah, because it's the
Um,
same thing with Dragon Age. People are in it for the characters.
yeah.
But yeah, with Persona,
Enchantment.
with Persona, people are for in it for the characters basically, and the writing and the narrative, the story, the world,
Yeah.
the style, the pizzazz.
Um,
But yeah, really specific bullet points. Show
yeah.
gameplay. Try not to show cutscenes or animated scenes.
Which is really like, I mean, that's how Let's Plays have really become for very story driven things like this. Like, that's obviously what we're dealing with the Legend of Zelda playthrough that we're doing right now. Um,
Yeah.
which please watch, and if you like what you see, leave us comments. Let us know that you still like the series, because we don't want to put out things that you don't like, hungry ones. We are in this for you, not for us. I mean, obviously, we're gonna have fun doing no matter what we do. Like we did our fighting game session the other night, and I was like, I wish it wasn't 2 a.m. I want to keep doing what we're doing.
Oh yeah. No, I'm really glad we got that going. Oh god, excuse me. Got that off the ground.
You know that.
I'm really excited to actually play more of these.
Like that was just a lot of fun what we did. I mean, there was Salt. There was us making fun of the fact that Terry Bogard was wrestling or was fighting in Marty McFly's Back to the Future sneakers,
Oh yeah, those fucking Jordans, man. They're
and
so fly.
that red jacket and wife beater like 1990s. Like this is what Japan thought we looked like.
Yeah. Oh man.
So basically, to sum up, uh, streaming and videoing Persona 5 really can be summed up in: don't post cutscenes, don't post boss fights, um, post like just regular battles, show off the meat of the game in terms of like gameplay, and really don't show off characters, show off like this is how battles work, this is how
Yeah,
this
because
happens.
there isn't a lot of gameplay, so to speak, in the game, but there is a lot of depth to what exists. Like the battle system in the Persona games is really deep and actually pretty interesting for a JRPG.
Right.
Um, but yeah, fucking yeah, I don't know. Like I get where Atlas is coming from. They want people to go out and spend the money. Go see the new Avengers, essentially, kind of mentality. But man, it's so just weirdly like not exactly tone deaf, but just like off key and sort of off kilter how they went about telling people, especially because they came out with this like the day of or the day after release.
I think it was day of, actually.
Yeah, like if I was Atlas, I would have kind of warned people a little bit, like at least a week or so in advance, just be like, hey, the game's coming out. We know you're all real excited. Video producers, we want to work with you, and like maybe have a little bit of feedback, a back and forth with people,
Right. And
not
and
just commands from on high.
and like that's obviously, as a large scale developer and publisher like that, they're not going to be able to deal with every email and tweet
Yeah,
and social media post. So this is really the best method in which to address everybody. Because I'll tell a very similar story to that in a second. But and the other thing with Alice that I'm really happy about is that they told people, period.
yeah,
That is the main thing. Because some developers are just like, you posted our stuff, fuck you, channel strike.
yeah.
Atlas is like,
Digital homicide.
yeah, exactly. Atlas is like, here, look, we want you to do this, but if you do this, we'll fucking kill you. So in that respect, I'm glad Atlas is actually telling people like, "Hey, this is what we'd rather you guys do. We love that you guys are doing it. Thank you for enjoying the game in the way you enjoy your game."
Yeah. Yeah,
But at the same
it
time,
sucks
like,
that they're
leave us alone, fuckers.
yeah, it sucks that they're being so hard assed about it, and I do hope it's a temporary thing, just to get those like first 2 3 the first month sales, and then maybe they'll back
Yeah,
off
I feel
or
like
whatever.
basically what's gonna end up happening is be like 6 months. Sales are start to slow down. It'll go on flash sale, and then they'll just stop giving a shit about it.
Yeah.
The only way that it's going to be a situation where like they have to do anything about it is if they really implement YouTube and or Twitch's copybot um,
Oh yeah.
properties, which is the only way that we get flagged for Nintendo stuff.
Yeah.
Like it actually like measures pixels and shit. Like whoever developed that program, thank and fuck you at the same time.
I think what
Thank
it does is it scans the edge of a video frame, like the outer like one layer of pixels all the way around, and it matches that to an image that it already has, so it doesn't have to look at the entire video and try to parse like a huge amount of information.
yeah, that's probably true.
That's why it always gets cutscenes, because cutscenes have that consistent lighting and camera angles. Even down to like the shrines in Zelda are always inside, so you don't even have to worry about weather effects.
Yeah, because like
Um,
what we ended up getting matched on last time was old man paragliding down and
oh
talking to
yeah,
you. That's what got us.
yeah,
So,
but yeah, there's
nevertheless,
like a lot of
good.
like a lot of movie pirates on YouTube. What they do is they put a big border around the movie, and it looks like shit and it looks terrible, but it keeps the bot from finding the film, because it just sees this whatever that isn't actually part of what it's looking for.
That's why if you watch any of the Botchamania videos, it's like
Oh yeah,
just down in like the right hand corner, and then it's like a image in the background.
yeah. Good old Botchamania. What a
I
treasure.
always have and always will love it.
Oh man. So yeah, that's the news. It's fit to print.
Yes. So, oh, the other story. Speaking of like developers really having dialogues with people. Right now, I'm actually having a small back and forth with Yacht Club Games
Hey, all right.
through our email because last week on Steam PC and Wii U in Japan only, uh, Spectre of Torment is now available as both a standalone game and a free update to your Shovel Knight game that you already own.
All right.
That being said, I purchased it on Wii U here in America because I wanted the because I've had co-op for longer than PC has it now,
Yeah.
and let's face it, playing as Custom Knight is broken, but the most fun you will have with the game. Infinidagger!
Infinidagger!
Hello! But I'm waiting for it to be um, available on Wii U because I want to Let's Play it here on the channel. So I sent an email to Yacht Club Games, and I'm actually having a back and forth with them as to whether it's okay. Really, the only thing they sent back was like, hey, just send us a link to your channel and this, and there's some things we need to consider before we give review copies. And then my response back to that is just, I own the game. I happily gave you guys my money, and I will give you guys more money if that's what it takes. Like, I almost bought a Shovel Knight plushie from We Love Fine at New York Comic Con last year.
Nice.
Because We Love Fine actually
Oh
has
man.
a lot of the good Shovel Knight stuff.
That reminds me, actually. Speaking of like collectibles, the reason I was in GameStop today, um, one was actually to get a new DualShock to use with my PC, because I'm tired of my Logitech pad. But I
Um,
was also looking for Zelda amiibos. Oh, am I going? Am I going
no,
Omega?
you're not. You're good.
Oh, okay.
I
Things
got you.
are getting weird on my end, so
Yeah, you're sort of Godzillaing of the with the video and audio, but That's
Yeah.
oh, you're good.
But yeah. Okay. Yeah, Zelda amiibos are apparently sold out freaking everywhere because of Breath of the Wild, because of the
Right.
free shit you get in the game from them. Now I'm all mad. Like, I want Sheik's outfit. I want the fucking hero clothes and all the unlockables and shit.
I'll be very honest. Try your local Toys R Us or Target.
Yeah, I probably should. I mean,
To-
I was only
Toys
in
R Us
like
has a
GameStop
fucking
and Best
wall of
Buy.
amiibos
Nice.
because like they had like when Shovel Knight was rare, quote unquote, and you couldn't find it anywhere. One of my local Toys R Us had like a rack of 17 of them.
Oh man.
So let this be a lesson to you. Go check your local Toys R Us. They have a wall of amiibos.
Yeah. And I think like that right there, that's the reason we don't get a Bayonetta amiibo, is because it's considered a toy and Nintendo doesn't want Bayonetta on Toys R Us shelves, with their logo slapped on it.
Yeah. Like I will show you a rare amiibo that now they reissued and I'm a little upset about. Like I had to import this.
Uh,
This is a Rockman amiibo. This is not a Mega Man amiibo. This is Rockman. I had to import this shit on eBay. Thank you, Suzanne. Because I was in a video game store in New York City with Pobby actually, um, when I was getting some arcade parts for myself and my local peoples.
yeah.
And I saw that they had like the Mega Man amiibo, and the one of the guys was like, "No, it's the Rockman amiibo," and I'm like, "It's the same fucking thing. Shut up." Um, I was like, this is really rare and hard to come by, and they were charging like $34.99 for the amiibo. Suzanne immediately goes on eBay. Here you go, John. $17. That's $17 with
Nice.
shipping. With so,
Nice.
and I didn't want it for like any in-game functionality, so I don't know if it works or not. I wanted it because I wanted it on my shelf. Because right now, this is gonna get a little weird for you hugger ones. I'm sorry, but my shelf is in shambles because of my cat. But Mega Man amiibo, the
Yeah.
the Mega Man cartoon thing,
Oh, the
uh,
good old Ruby Spears Mega Man.
one of Chuck's characters from one of his first comics,
Uh,
Chris Jericho vinyl figure, my Kid Robot stuff. Thanks, Hyacinth, wherever you are. That's all on like tipped over, and my camera's tipped over. Usually, what I do to keep my camera in place is I have Donkey Kong figurine that keeps it in place.
uh,
He's all like Flixen. But nevertheless, yeah, that is all the news that's fit to print. And wow, that went a little longer than I thought it was going to, but there was a lot to cover, and actually, it was fairly
we're
informative.
getting we're getting better at like actually talking about stuff and not just parroting fucking news articles.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've noticed as we speak to a year's worth of Let's Plays on the channel, and the fact that we're almost a little over 2 years old at this point, actually, where we started off as just a audio based video game podcast. Think about that and why we're suddenly on Twitch.
Yeah. Oh
It's a
man.
really hard medium to like yammer about something when you're talking about something that's meant to be looked at.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like yeah, it really is. Like everything, because I listen to like a lot of podcasts. I don't listen to a single podcast about video games or movies or like anime or any of any visual media.
Yeah, like
I
so,
listen to podcasts about like history and game shows and all this other stuff, but anytime like I have anything where I actually listen to someone talk about a video game, there's always like a visual element accompanying it,
yeah, like
pretty
it'll
much.
cut to like a 1 minute clip of gameplay footage, which you need, I think.
Yeah.
Like that's why we'll show you guys the trailer. Like, look, this trailer came out. Let's analyze it. And
Yeah.
you really need that for the medium in which we cover.
Yeah, and I mean that's like the most basic level of just, here's the trailer. And I mean you can get into like fucking like Matthew Matosis level stuff where
Yeah,
it's just like, here, I recorded myself playing a game. Here's like 6 hours of me talking about why Dark Souls is the best game ever made. Kind of shit.
yeah.
With specific examples and like, here's this character that I made that shows off this system, and then let's look at this other system in the game, and
Like,
like it can go super deep.
like super good example. Like right now, I'm actually Suzanne signed up for a free trial, but we're gonna keep it because we like it. We signed up for the Nerdist Project Alpha, the one where
Oh yeah.
it shows
Yeah, I've
like
been hearing about that.
it's great.
Nice.
She's been actually watching a lot of bizarre. The podcast is called Bizarre States,
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. I think
hosted
I've
by
listened to a little bit of
hosted by Jessica Chobot and Andrew Bowser, aka Weird Gamer Guy, aka Onyx the Fortuitous.
it.
Notice me, senpai. Notice me. Fucking brilliant guy.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Um, but like like they have it as an actual podcast you can listen to and everything else like that. But the video one, like there was one where it was Andrew Bowser talking to the guys from I think it's called Ghost Brothers, where it's like
Hmm.
one of those like ghost hunter shows, which I personally think are BS, but
Oh, they're
that's
total shit. I kind of love them though. I actually not like Ghost Adventures can suck a dick. Those guys are from Las Vegas and they're an embarrassment to the state of Nevada. Like I kind of love Ghost Hunters because it's so like consistent and like yeah, it's fucking there's never a ghost. It's always like some leaky pipes and it's just these guys going out and doing the same thing over and over again. But like they always edit it to be creepy and scary, and even though I know it's fake, I'm just like, yeah, this is fun.
yeah,
It's like
like
comfort food for me.
yeah. Ghost Adventures is the one that's hosted by like a bro, right? That's the one I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
it's
Yeah,
the bro guys, and they try way too hard, and they have like no fucking credibility whatsoever. They absolutely try their hardest to make it seem like, oh, this place is totally haunted, bro. Oh man, I feel like the ghost vibrations, bro. Oh my god, bro. And then like there's like episodes where like they pretend to get possessed and like they go to a fucking abandoned hospital and they're like, "Oh, what if we got in these drawers, bro? It'd be so cool." And they get in like the drawers in the morgue just
yeah,
for fucking views. It's disgusting. Like at least with ghost hunters, they're like, "Yeah, we're a couple of plumbers from Pennsylvania and we do this on the weekends. We have Minnesota accents for some reason."
because that was the first accent that I thought of.
Yeah, but they're just like regular guys, and they're trying to be
Yeah,
like debunkers and like somewhat honest about it. Even though they do the whole EVP thing and whatnot, they're not as scummy as like a lot of the other operations
yeah.
out there.
But like Ghost Brothers, they're a ghost hunting show, but they're three African American gentlemen from Atlanta.
Oh boy.
So Andrew actually had them on the podcast, and you could listen to the podcast, and it still feels great. But the video they actually show like clips from the show and everything like that, and it really brings a great element to you, the viewer slash listener.
Yeah.
Like it's that illustrative point that I love so much, which is why like I'm not really a big reader because I need I need a visual element to really show bring life to what's going on.
Yeah.
Like the most imagination I have is writing music to some degree, but nevertheless, the one thing in the year's worth of Let's Plays that I've noticed is the quality that has grown over the last year. Like I've watched like some of my first videos and I'm like, no, stop. Like it's amazing how much you learn over a year and like how to combat the vileness that is dead air dead air.
Yeah.
Like it's like looking at the analytics, it's no more visible in the Honeycam Studio videos that me and Suzanne did when that was like the big game. We had like 56, 54 views, and then it dropped down to like 2
Oh man.
because it was just they're quiet videos. Nothing was going on.
Oh yeah.
So, excuse me. We've learned a lot. We're continuing to learn a lot. Um,
Yeah.
I'm I've figured out the ins and outs of Premiere like crazy. I'm a little upset that annotations are disappearing from YouTube, but um, on the other hand, that's one fucking less step for me.
They're actually, are they like getting rid of annotations?
As of May 11th, I think something like that.
Oh, yes, finally.
Yeah,
I fucking hate annotations.
the only thing that you're going to be able to do is a
The
like
little eye at the top.
sort of, and then like at the end of the
Oh,
video you can record like there's like a little 20-second thing where like you can flash up, click to this video, click to the. A lot of people are already doing it where it's like, if you want to watch yesterday's show, click or tap right there. If you want to watch this, click or tap right there.
oh, okay.
Which I was actually doing for a little bit. I like the like 2 or 3 weeks of videos, and I want to keep doing it, but I keep forgetting it as a step, and it's not
Yeah.
necessarily long because you can save like template footage. Because like when I would post a Castlevania video, I would link to the Mega Man X playlist and the Hyperlight playlist. For Mega Man X, I would post the Castlevania playlist and the Hyperlight and so on and forth.
Yeah.
So, um, but that is that. Again, Hungry Ones, I cannot thank you enough for being a part of this because if it weren't for you, I would not be sitting here at midnight on a Sunday drinking a beer with one of my best buddies. For realsies.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
like, not to get semi sappy on this one, but like, I mean, like, wait, spoiler, I've never actually met Mitch in person, which needs to fucking change this year.
yeah.
I just need to find a time to do it because both of our jobs suck ass.
Yeah. Come to PAX.
When is PAX Prime?
September. So you've got some time. Like they haven't even released passes yet, for sale. Um,
I sip my beer and think I shall. Because September shouldn't be blacked out.
yeah.
And that's in Seattle, so we got
We
Rob
got,
there too.
yeah, exactly. Like I'm actually my current plan, um, is usually because there's a bunch of guys here in Reno that go to PAX every year, that I'm friends with, and I'm supposed to go with them. And my plan is basically to fly up the day before they're gonna leave because they usually drive, which is like 12 hours. And I'm like, yeah, no thanks, guys.
Fuck.
Yeah, yeah,
I just
nah.
thought I thought about that. I was like, you drive to Seattle from Rio. Fuck.
Yeah, it sucks.
Are you out of
I
your
did it.
mind?
I did it last time I went, and I'm like, yeah, I'm done. No.
No.
So I'm gonna go up an extra day early, crash at Rob's, hang out with him, and then PAX will happen. Then I'll either get a ride back or I'll fly back, depending just on how much I feel like spending and whether I can actually arrange like to get in a car, on the way back, kind of stuff. But one other thing for those of you still watching through our fucking mushy "I love you, man" kind of moments, and us being good old chummarinos. So I had planned to record something with a friend of mine here in Reno, for the channel, sort of recently, and
I'm
you
excited for
reminded me
this.
of it because of you brought up Project Alpha, which is doing a series of Shaw Brothers movie live casts. Um,
That's right, they
with,
are.
yeah, the Shaw Brothers Kung Fu Theater that I think just started like last week or so with you know, like Five Deadly Venoms or 36 Chamber of Shaolin or something. I saw the Dan Cave put up a video, on or Nerdist put up a video, the Dan Cave talking about kung fu movies, and it was to promote this. I guess they're gonna have commentary or something on them. Um, but oh, yeah, Kyle Anderson and Dan Casey, apparently are going to commentate it. And in a similar vein, I have just recently been planning to do kung fu movie riff tracks with a local friend of mine who's a martial artist. Um,
I didn't know he was a martial artist. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. He's more of, like, I don't want to I want to cast him in a positive light. So I'm gonna say he studies a lot of ninjutsu, but he knows a lot about kung fu and fighting in general. And I've seen a ton of these movies. So together we're going to create an unstoppable force of riff track warriors, and
Yeah.
so yeah, watch out for that. We'll probably be posting at least trailers on YouTube, if not the entire, just commentaries for people to download. We might try and get like a Bandcamp page going if people want to like throw money at us essentially for this kind of thing. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, if that does take off, that's definitely an option because I know monetization is an issue, which I will record in a vlog this week because I have strong opinions on both sides of the argument about the new YouTube.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, because like with the riff tracks, it's easy because I was kind of showing Johnny the last time we recorded stuff. I've pretty much got a setup where I can I can do like what I think a lot of pro Let's Players, like I know that the best friends do. Where you just put the game audio into headphones, and then all you actually have to record on mic is your voices, which is how Riff Tracks does it too, I think, actually. Like
Yep.
actual real Riff Tracks. Um, so I'm ready to do that. So at least, we can post the audio and it'll just be me and my friend talking. So we don't have to worry about like, oh, you posted audio from the movie or you know, copyright on that end. But yeah.
Yeah.
End of thought. I'm good at ending sentences in satisfactory ways.
That did just kind of like that was like where the sidewalk ends at the
Yeah.
fucking
I,
nightmare cliff.
I have a bad habit of doing that with my sentences where I like make my point and then I realize, oh, I didn't have a nice way to end this, and I just shut up.
Dead air. Um,
Yeah.
but that is one thing, and my New Year's resolution for the channel was a video a day, and fuck, we are really close to that.
Yeah.
Because Mondays we have a Let's Play series, which right now is Legend of Zelda, unless you guys tell us differently. Tuesday is where we post the stream archive of this live cast. Wednesday is another Let's Play footage, which right now is Mega Man X Hard Type, which we're after the last session we're nearing the end of,
Yeah.
which I am both thankful for and kind of sad. Like it's been a heartfelt journey there. Thursday we post the previous week's Fitness Friday stream. So partake in Mitch's horror. Friday we put God. You are
Yeah. I'm
that looks
getting
like
big.
that looks like the baiting arm
Getting
right there.
powerful. Yeah. No, this isn't even this is not the jack and arm.
You have Popeye
This
forearms.
is the jack and arm. Oh yeah, I love it. I can't
Bitch.
wait till my
Bitch, you got Popeye forearms.
Oh dude, I love it. It's so exciting to look at my forearms and be like, yeah, they're bigger than my elbows.
Fucking A, dude. You look like Henry Rollins' arms right now. Attached to like
Oh,
a twenty.
oh,
Like
that's the best compliment I've ever gotten.
And on Friday we have a Let's Play channel, which is Hyper Light Drifter, which let us know what you think of that. I know looking at the analytics, you guys might not care for it, but let us know, because it's a beautiful game. At the very least, even if we
Yeah.
don't Let's Play it, support them. They were nominated
At
for
least go
Indie
buy
Game
the
of the
game.
Year. Which, at that point, they were up against Inside, which, let's face it, Inside was
Yeah.
far and away one of the best titles last year.
Yeah.
And Saturday is going to be our story time Saturday, where we post story mode of fighting games.
Oh yeah.
Sunday we do this live, but maybe we'll do something on the YouTube channel. Fuck, man. We do it for you guys. So, with that, we're actually pushing our 2-hour time limit. We didn't even get to a gaming segment this week, which we didn't really.
We didn't have one planned. Yeah.
And which is good because all of my consoles are in a Marlboro duffel bag downstairs. So with that, I think we're gonna close the live cast here and call it a night because I am exhausted because I ran a 7-hour fighting game tournament, lugged all my heavy equipment back upstairs to where my office is, hooked it all up, and did this live cast. Also 10% beer.
Yeah.
So with that, go ahead.
I was gonna say I've got just enough time to maybe beat Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild before I go to bed.
There you go. That's right.
Yeah.
Because another spoiler alert, as we've mentioned, I Johnny am in Rochester, New York, so it is 12:21 a.m. right now, which means it is 9:21 in Reno, Nevada, where Mitch is. So,
Yeah.
and don't get me wrong, I work an evening shift, so I'm usually home at 11. It's like, oh, Mitch is just finishing dinner. Fuck, let's do something.
Yeah.
As I think I just spit on my camera. Yep, that's a spit drop. Go
Well,
me.
I can't see. It looks fine from my end, so
Okay, good.
we'll roll with it. We'll do it live.
Excellent. So, Hungry Ones, we love you guys. If you like what you see, slam that follow button down below us and follow us on social media at Corner Munchers on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/channel/a bunch of random characters. Just search Corner Munchers. It's easier. We're the first thing that pops up. So until then, I am Johnny.
I am the only match.
And I literally almost bought a Chaos Pad at the House of Guitars the other night because of that.
Oh.
I saw one, and I'm like, fuck, that's what Mitch uses. Holy shit, it's on sale for $50.
What? Is it like the full size, like KP, like the proper big old Chaos Pad?
With like the big like touch panel screen in the middle of it sort of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit.
They were trying to get rid of it, I think.
Dude, that because mine was like 350 or $400 when I bought it.
Fuck, I should have bought it.
Yeah, go back. Go fucking get it. But don't steal my gimmick. That's all I ask.
Well, that was the other thing. I was like, wait, why would I get one of those? That is Mitch's bit. I would just be flat out like fucking pirating his bit. I can't do that.
I mean, they're super fun to play with. Just don't use it on the channel. That's all I ask, man.
Well, I use all USB mics anyway, so like I can't. That's not a thing I have.
It has a USB input. I'm not sure if you can put a USB mic through it. I think it's for programming it, but
Right, no, it's either for programming it or like using it as an alternate power source.
yeah.
Because the most that I have a guitar effects program that I might try to pipe in my guitar on one of these days. It's called Guitar Rig. It's like all the gear that I can't afford, but it's phenomenal. It's also what Shipocrit uses, who we interviewed back in November on this channel. I want to have him on again now that Earth Night is being shown off at a lot of these conventions.
Oh, cool.
The game that he's working on. So they're going to be they were at PAX East. I can't imagine they wouldn't be at PAX Prime.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, Chipocrit's also one of the nicest dudes I've met, and he's super easy. Like he's what's the word I'm looking for? He's okay to share all this information. Like he's not like, I know how to make chiptunes. Fuck you. He's like, this is what you do.
Yeah.
But as I ramble on and on because I'm fucking amazing at that. I already said that I am Johnny. You already chaos petted that you were the only.
Oh yeah, we were closing the arcade. I forgot.
Yeah, the arcade is closed. Thanks, Hungry Ones. I really get like I always do this whenever I do anything. Why do I clap? As you heard Suzanne in the back.